Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name's Nathan and welcome back to our new regular feature, the Tuesday Checklist. Every Tuesday the Access team takes inspiration from a recent or upcoming release to start a conversation about some of our favourite games. This week, rebooted space trading classic Elite Dangerous has us wondering about video game jobs we'd hate to do. Take it away, Dave.
Well, Elite Dangerous is a pretty amazing game where you can play in many different ways, but it got me thinking about being a space merchant and how awful that would be. And I think actually previously I thought that might be quite cool. Well, I just thought spaceships are great and I'd like to have one, but it's just long, sad journeys by yourself under the constant threat of pirates. In a universe with actual humans, other players, that means Rob, who's told us his fantasy is to be a pirate, and it just would not go well. I would hate that. The stress, it's always night, you're in space. I mean, there is sunshine, but it's very, very far away.
Are we talking specifically about being like a haulage, like a merchant guy, rather than being like a cool space? Because you could be a space pirate, right?
I mean,
is it any job in Elite Dangerous?
That's the point. Like in Elite Dangerous, you don't have to be this sad merchant that I've described. I mean, you could just be a happy sort of trader merchant. I don't know why I've picked a sad one. Or you could be the pirate, indeed, which is a much better way to go.
I am slightly surprised, Dave, because of how much you like space. I mean, other entries in this new series about, so all of yours have been about how much you like space.
I like space. I love space. Things I like about space can be boiled down to lots of buttons, right. Strange phenomena, but in those situations, I'm always with my friends. We're facing
name me
one space phenomenon.
A black hole. Very strange.
Okay,
but imagine coming across a black hole when you're just trying to, you're trying to deliver some scaloops to scaloops to Rigel Alpha 6, and there's a black hole in the way. And great, I'm on my own, and I'm millions and millions of light years from anybody who can help me. And I do it. Oh, what should I do? Shall I send out a distress call, which is the universal sort of signal for, hey, do you want to come and rob my stuff? Because I'm ready to go over here. Like, my trousers are down. It's like...
So one job I really, really wouldn't like is to work as like a healer. So a medical personnel, specifically fantasy. So like a white mage. Because it's hard enough because I'm actually medically trained. Like I did a real life medical job, like blood, guts, do all the things. That's all fine, and then I'll have my lunch, it's great.
Maybe wash your hands in between those two steps.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely have to wash your hands, because otherwise that's really gross. But if you're like a white mage, I can be like, oh, I didn't even bother stepping out of the way of that axe. Can you just make me better? No, mate, I'm busy. And like that makes me tired. Yeah. Buy a potion. Or just, just step out of the way of the axe. I'm not here for you because you're useless at defending yourself. And it's you haven't done anything. You haven't looked after yourself at all. You ran into the fire. You're now on fire, and you expect me to put out the fire and then make sure that you still look nice afterwards. Quite frankly, I'm tired. I'm overworked.
So your personal experience then, pulling babies out of women, is nicer.
Pulling them.
Is nicer than healing ungrateful tanks online.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, because when you do midwifery, everyone's like, oh, it's a baby, it's so cute. And then if you don't heal a tank online, they're like, oh my god, worst healers, lol, troll, like learn how to heal, like GTFO this dungeon, what? And you're like, okay, well, you're obviously going to die now because I'm actually just going to stop healing. I'm actually going to, oh, what's that, /sit? Oh, I'm sat on the floor. I'm sorry, I can't heal you. I'm just sat here not doing anything. That's going to burn. You'd make a good healer, Dave.
Nah, too good with the guns.
The guns? Or the guns?
Oh yeah, both.
Oh, column A, column B. Wow. No, I have no patience. I just want to hit things, so I don't heal anymore. I've literally quit healing. Fair. In both the real world and the online world. Yeah. And now I do this for a living. Yeah. Here I am.
If we're talking about jobs that I would hate to do, then I would hate to be a ranger of Gondor in any of Tolkien's ages of Middle-earth, first, second, third, fourth. No one really knows what happens in the fourth. I'd still hate it because your job is, you're not really allowed to live in the city, so you can't be like in Minas Tirith with a nice tree. You have to go over to the east towards Mordor, and like I mean, it's called Mordor, right? Like even when, there's this period in Shadow of Mordor, when you are Talion and your family gets murdered. Even before that happened, you're standing on the Black Gate looking over this like pestilent land. The reason it's called Mordor, there's a giant flipping volcano called Mount Doom, and even then everyone's like, oh, we're surprised that the shadow is rising so quickly in Mordor. Don't really understand why. And then your entire family gets killed. There's never a good time to be a ranger of the south, a Gondorian ranger looking in Mordor. It's just bad news. There's nothing good there. The whole place is infested with orcs. I really have no idea how Gondor didn't see it coming, because you take one step into Mordor, it is full of orcs who have enslaved people. It's obvious. I'm not sure there is a peacetime in Mordor.
I've got a question. I don't know the answer. That's why I'm asking, I guess. And that is, are rangers, are you just told you're a ranger? Do you have to do something bad and then you become a ranger? Or is there a recruiter?
There is, I'm not going to pretend to know all the answers to this one, but I know with Talion, he was sort of exiled and it was arranged that he would go and become a ranger. So they're sort of outcasts, but they're like, you know, in any fantasy story when you go into the woods and there's like a woodsman and he doesn't really like people and people aren't really sure about him. Rangers are kind of that. There's like northern rangers like Aragorn, and there's rangers of the south like Talion, and they're basically an ongoing kind of guerrilla warfare against the forces of evil on the edge of Middle-earth, which sounds awful.
Where's the north? Like, as in, is Mordor to the south?
Man. Mordor is to the southeast. It's like the Kent of Middle-earth.
What are they doing in the north? Rangers in the north, what are they doing?
I don't know, man. Maybe there's ogres up there.
They keep just sending back telegrams.
Yeah, real busy.
Real bad,
yeah,
bad up here.
Don't come and look.
Oh, I wish I was in the south. Oh,
with Mount Doom and
yeah.
the Dark Lord. Imagine you're at work with someone you don't like. Let's not say it's definitely wrong.
Oh, that's hard to imagine.
But then, if you're in Sauron's army, you can just murder that guy and get all of his perks, and you get promoted every time you basically murder a colleague. I mean, there's a way of sorting out kind of workplace disputes. I think that the Sauron's army has got a lot going for it.
Another job I would really hate to have would to be a Skyrim shop owner. I think that would be awful, because you're in this huge, massive adventure world filled with magic and creatures and places to discover. And first of all, I have to stay in my shop all day, every day, like every day. They don't seem to have weekends. Routine is like every day. I get to have all the nice magic things depending on what my shop is. Let's say it's the nice magic shop. I've got, you know, some potions that cool, like a potion of levitate. That's cool. I'm looking at that potion all day thinking, I want a sip of potion. But if I have a sip of potion, I'm going out of business. So I have to I sell it to some guy who comes in with horns on a helmet, who's like, I'm going to use that. I'm going to levitate so good and get some gold out of a chest. Meanwhile, I'm just left in my shop, you know, just selling them. It's so sad. It feels like there's no job satisfaction. The only other kind of customer you get is the sneaky one who's going to steal from you. It might be the same guy. Quite often, you buy back your own things. You know, like that's a classic. People nicking your stuff and selling it back to you. I mean, sometimes they do realise. I would hope I would realise. They are so confident in the market at all times. Like, yeah, I'll buy it. What you got? Oh, you got some spoons? Sweet. Yeah, sweet spoons. I mean, I know there's only about 100 people who live in this city, and I know all of them very well. And they've definitely got spoons and no plans for any big parties. But I will buy your spoons, man. I will totally buy. What's that? Like a stoker, you know? Like they get like just a rod of metal. Also, my house is just upstairs. I don't know, for a lot of shop owners in the real world, that is true. But I would be terrified. Plus, they seem to have this open plan where it's like a mezzanine, where my bedroom just looks down into the shop. That would freak me out, especially when, you know, people are coming in and stealing all the time. Like, that's just weird. I've done it. It's made me think, I've been that guy stealing from the shop, and now I'm thinking twice about it. When you sneak into their bedroom. That's the thing. You're never just content with the shop goods. You're always like, some stairs. Let's have a look. You know, they're sleeping. Then it goes wrong. Then it turns into a murder. Then I reload the save. That's what happens because I am a nice guy, Holly.
You are.
I am. I'm nice.
So the second job I really wouldn't want to do is unnamed crew member. So you know when like you're on a spaceship or you're in some kind of facility that might clone people, because they always clone people in games, I have no idea, all facilities create clones. And they're the sort of person you see in the background of your like cutscene. Yeah, and you're like, oh, they're dying.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be sent out to die. There's nothing we can do for them. They didn't even name them. Yeah. I don't even think they've got a VO artist. I just don't want to be that person because it just means I'm going to die. They can probably fly this ship without me, which means I'm not going to have any cool side quests. I might offer you a fetch quest. All right, now how sad is that?
Yeah.
You are the person that initiates a fetch quest. The worst of all.
One that just sits in your like, you know, quest log for the whole
Yeah.
game.
You come back to it and you're 20 levels too high to do it.
And the XP is not even worth it.
Yeah.
So at that point, it wasn't even worth talking to me. That's how bad my side quest is that I'm going to offer you.
Is it a fear of the kind of being generic that makes you, is this what's underneath this?
I have my nose pierced, bright red hair and 2 tunnels in my ears. It is always going to be the fear of not being noticed, Nathan. Yes.
It would be awful though. Like,
It is, you just know.
Seeing all the real crew cracking on and like
Having mates,
you know,
relationships.
Yeah, like
Shepard being like, let's have a meeting in my ready room to talk about the mission.
My ready
He was
room.
like, what's going on? And then,
I don't have dialogue options.
yeah.
Yeah, no tree. I
Yeah.
can't be Paragon, I can't be Renegade, can't even be romanced. I'm so throwaway, can't even be romanced.
This computer doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. I'm just looking at it all day.
But I'm telling you, as soon as those Reapers come and the ship gets destroyed, it's my lifeless body that's going to be thrown across the background to make everything look a little bit more dramatic.
You might make a cutscene.
Talking of other professions that I would hate, I've never understood what the appeal of being, if you were an actual builder in Minecraft, that would be terrible because you would be used to working on building sites with hard hats, boots with those cool front, you know, sturdy, so someone could stamp on you.
Steel toe cap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you.
So someone can stamp on you.
Have
That
you never
is
done
why
that?
they have it.
You never had a summer job on a building? It was the first thing, like, Mum, I need some steel toe cap boots. And then the first thing I did was just invite all of my friends to stamp on me for like an afternoon.
That says a lot about you.
Thanks, man.
And here we are.
Yeah.
And then you don't even have any tools. In Minecraft, it's a game about building. You don't even have a stick. You have to pound the floor to make raw materials. I mean, I would be stumps and like a mound of earth. That's what I would have made. There's no HR, there's no one to complain to, there's no union if things go wrong. Builders love unions. I'll have nothing. It would be terrible.
But in Minecraft, apart from the start, you can then make some tools and lovely things. Wouldn't you like that? Making some creation?
I guess so,
Castle?
yeah.
You could make a castle.
It's all very much a one-man job though, isn't it? And I feel like my strength as a builder would very much be letting other people do all the work while I kind of go, you just let people stamp on me, apparently.
You're more of a builder's client.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
A builder's mate.
Yeah.
The client will insinuate Nathan might pay them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A builder's friend. A builder's encourager.
Got you.
Yeah. I'm more of an ideas guy. Well, the other big problem, obviously, if you're in the Minecraft universe, if you've got this incredible imagination, you've always wanted to be a builder, you rock up in Minecraft, and any design of yours you've ever thought of, which involves turning a corner, is out the window. There's no bending. There's just square. It's just corners. It's like a modernist paradise. Yeah. But you know, if you want to get into, I mean, the Renaissance would never have happened in Minecraft, Dave. There's no cornices. There's nothing. It's just
cubism. Just
cubes, yeah, which is also quite dangerous. I think if you fell on a cube, it could hurt your face on the corner.
Isn't it strange how all building materials in Minecraft are the same dimensions as your own head?
Yeah, that is. Although, I mean, have we tried that in real life? Because maybe that's like some kind of secret that people haven't discovered yet.
Head bricks.
Yeah, head bricks. The same shape and so with all the same features
we
as
measure
face.
Horses in
hands. Yeah.
We should measure buildings in heads.
How many Dave heads big is this building? Less than it would be of my head.
Yeah, I like that. Dave heads. That's great. That seems very specific.
Yeah, but it's but to be honest, out of everybody, Dave.
What are you about to say?
I'm about to say you've got the most Steve from Minecraft head.
Unbelievable.
I think it's fair to say.
I've got the Lego man's hair and Steve from Minecraft's head to go with it.
It's quite a good head.
They're
But
popular games.
True.
yeah, you're a blockbuster.
God's sake. Before we wrap this up, I'd really like for us to spend some time and figure out what Rob's orcish captain name and and sort of like characteristics would be.
I'm on camera, man. It's really hard to find something which can thread that needle of truth, but broadcastable. You know, the two things that I don't know. Maybe something to do with mouldy bread, considering that since we moved into this office, he bought in week 1 a loaf of bread and then left it in the office until he went on holiday.
New life.
Yeah, exactly. The alchemist.
Mouldering, Rob the Mouldering.
Yeah, he does a good Gollum though, doesn't he, Rob?
He does.
That is something I can't. Every time I think Ranger or Orc, I do think of Rob.
Which is regularly, weirdly.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Thanks me, and thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments what video game jobs you would hate to have. Do like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to PlayStation Access for loads more.